Did the South African government have any information? Did you personally know about any threat to U.S. Ambassador Lana Marks before the Politico story broke at the weekend, quoting U.S. intelligence that Iran was planning an assassination attempt? What have you made of that revelation, and have you spoken to the U.S. envoy to Pretoria?
No, once we have an indication, and it was in the public domain through the media that we got this indication, we would liaise with our colleagues in the police service who provide the security detail at the various embassies throughout South Africa. We also would speak to my colleague in state security and ask them to take a closer look at the matter. So I understand, as they have indicated through a public statement, this matter is being looked at. I believe there have been meetings with the ambassador, but it is a matter of the protection services and that which is provided to our diplomats. We have assured them through the statement of Minister Jojo that South Africa believes diplomats in our country are safe, and should there be a need for additional measures, these will be taken. And obviously we will ask, and Minister Jojo will probably seek more information from her colleagues in the security sector in the United States. But it's been a very strange, public statement. And of course, our friends in Iran are as surprised as we were.
So just to confirm, you did not get a heads up from the intelligence services in the United States that this was a concern of theirs. You learned of this from the Politico story.
Yes, as Minister of International Relations, yes. I can't answer for my colleague in state security, but certainly yes.
But you say it reeks of something.
I'm saying I find it surprising. Why would Iran, being a very good friend of South Africa, come and commit a horrendous act in a country which has been a good friend to Iran? Of such a nature, it just, I can only describe it as bizarre, and let me stop there.
Well, the full interview with the Minister Pandor will be broadcast on Full View tomorrow. I think it's tonight, just after 8 p.m. On the SABC News channel. We now cross to our foreign editor, Sophie Mokoena. She's on the line. A very good morning to you, Sophie. Just a clarification before we start our conversation. That full interview, is that tonight or tomorrow night?
Yes, the interview will be on Full View tonight at 8 p.m. as part of the build-up to many events of the United Nations General Assembly. You know that at 2 o'clock there's a special gathering where heads of state, 20 heads of state and government are going to speak around 2 o'clock South African time, and that would include our own president.
The meeting comes at a critical time where the world is battling to respond to COVID-19. Will this be high on the agenda?
Well, that's the main issue today on the agenda of this meeting, a build-up to the heads of state and government next week, where 20 heads of state and government from different regions will talk about the experiences in different regions and what needs to be done to revive the global economy. Because we know that currently the Sub-Sahara is doing well in terms of slowing down the infection. South Africa, a case in point, the most affected country on the continent, but numbers have stabilized. The World Health Organization Regional Center in Congo-Brazzaville sending a strong warning to South Africa not to be complacent because the numbers are still too high, even though we move to level 1. On the other hand, the Northern Hemisphere is approaching winter. Numbers are going up in Europe and the US. South Africa will be experiencing summer, and Sub-Sahara will be experiencing summer. Many tourists, as we open our airspace and we embark on international flights, will be coming to South Africa to enjoy the sun. You know, our first infection was imported from Italy, that is Europe. We are going to experience such incidences. And therefore, today the focus is how to revive the global economy. If you don't revive the global economy, we are not going to win a war against COVID-19. Because as we speak, there is no vaccine. To have a vaccine, you need a lot of resources. And currently, there's fear that vaccine nationalism is going to triumph. And therefore, poorer countries are not going to have access to the vaccine. But we tend to forget that we are one world. If poorer countries don't have access to vaccine, the big industrialized nations, the G7, the G20, will not be immune because we live in a global village. People are traveling and people are interacting. And therefore, these are important issues to discuss. Will they agree on a way forward how to rebuild the world economy? Let's wait and see.
Yeah. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to speak. What do we expect him to focus on?
As the chair of the African Union, as a co-chair of a newly established platform to deal with issues of access to vaccine and program to fight COVID-19 worldwide under the auspices of the World Health Organization and agency of the United Nations, I suspect that the president of South Africa is going to make a call to the world leaders to focus on collective solutions to ensure that multilateralism triumphs and to ensure that there's access to vaccine by all countries, irrespective of their situation. He is going to make a strong case for the poorer countries that the developed countries, your G7, your G20, must look at the debt of the poorer countries. It must be suspended. Perhaps duration there can be 4 years, so that these poor countries, these developing countries, your G77 plus China, can rebuild their economy. He's going to rebuke those who are hoping to embark on a program of campaigning for vaccine nationalism. An example, the United States of America, Donald Trump, already talking about stockpiling of the vaccine, and that will make it difficult for poorer nations to access vaccine. I think the president is going to make it clear in no uncertain terms that we are one world, and COVID-19 has taught us that no one is an island, or no country is an island. We are one world. The outbreak of the coronavirus in China has affected the whole world in less than a year, and therefore, working together as the globe, we can win this war against COVID-19.
Well, we trust that you will bring us the detail as it unfolds. Thank you so much for talking to us this morning. Foreign editor at the SABC, Sophie Mokoena. Let's